closer. Vigilante Williamson here. Another episode of my morning question mark show because it's almost 4 a.m. Central Time, which means almost 5 a.m. East Coast time. So it is technically morning, but it also feels like night. You know, I feel like it's still Saturday night. So it's a Saturday night, it's a Sunday morning. You be the judge. But I'm here with you for the next probably hour. I usually keep these things around an hour, maybe a little longer. We will see. Um, just to talk about whatever, talk about what's on my mind. Recently, it's been this music stuff. Just got the mix downs for my EP. Haven't even listened to them yet to judge if we need any more alterations. Howdy, Tom Jensen. Appreciate you being here. Um, so we'll see. And once we have this away, I'll have a date for all the platforms. I'm still, gotta get the publishing and everything registered, but hopefully next week we'll be able to get all that done. So that's going to be fun, and a lot of nervousness regarding that. And I'll finally get to promote more than one song. So if I see if I can get the whole project promoted, that'll be fun. And doing videos, we're gonna have to do that. It'll be fun though. It'll be fun. So yeah, so I got that going on. As far as what's going on in the world, I couldn't tell you. I've been working. They've been working me pretty bad, working like 6 days in a row. And so I don't know. I'm either working on my project and my music, doing this, like doing videos, doing streams, or working for my job. I really have lost touch with reality. I mean, I do pay attention to my low DC stuff. Looks like Peacemaker is done permanently, potentially. Hey, hot bars to drop if I need a collab. I appreciate that. The MAGA rap thing, which I'm not sure how successful it is. You know, I just actually heard. I think it was kind of a joke, MAGA rap, but it was actually pretty good. On I don't have a beer. I don't drink beer. Is that AI? Actual AI. Wow, that's nice. But hey, Fireball, appreciate you being here. Matt from Fireball Production, my former and future partner and culture crime fighter. Speaking of crime fighting, the question is here. Have you seen, I'm jorking it right now, pause, more information than we needed. But this is a late night stream, so I'm expecting the worst. Question, you see that a lot of other old heroes are getting on social media. I saw, was it the Masked Avenger? And a few other, I think actual Vigilante might be on there. So, hello, Vito 39. Hello, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. They keep bothering you. Hope I wasn't bothering you asking you questions. Asked you a solid question about how many bots on the internet. You said between 20 and 70. 70% would be a nightmare, but it could be. It very well could be. Who knows how many bots we're talking with. There's very well could be bots in the chat. Yo, says Fireball. Shout out to Matt from Fireball Productions. Trying to get on a mixtape. Which I am releasing a hip hop project after this. I'm doing my kind of synth pop ish, R&B ish. Though I cannot sing. Shout out to Auto Tune. Actually, you know what? That was a thing because I was a snob like fuck Auto Tune. For years, I was like a fuck auto-tune guy. And to use auto-tune on my own project and I absolutely need it. I can't sing. I did everything I can to work on my voice. I still try to practice and do like warm-ups and shit like that. And I do the best I can. One word, four letters. Did you see? I didn't even see. What was it? Crown Jewel. Did you see Crown Jewel, Tom Jensen? What did you think of it? Is that Leaf? Leaf has a question. Feel free. Congrats on 1K. Thank you, Fireball. Appreciate that. The Black Canary, the Vigilante Crimson Adventure, Shining Knight, and Stargirl, and Green Arrow. I didn't see Green Arrow. Wow, rooting for 2K. Yeah, I'm on the road to 2K. Oh, yeah, we hit 1K. We're at 1K. These streams have been a huge reason why, because it's one of the few things that it will show me to people who don't know me, and I appreciate that. Claudia, Jesus loves you, and that's true for everybody. Now, Vito has something serious. No, don't, no, leave. No, no, we believe in Jesus here. You don't bully him. Speaking of bullies, I'm getting bullied at school. I tried to tell my math teacher. He said he was being dramatic. How should I grow up and start acting like a baby? I'm in the fourth grade. Fourth, whoa, what are you doing up this late in the fourth grade? Um, that's crazy. Well, then fight back. I hate to just say it. You already told somebody swing. Then people realize it's serious. You going to swing on your bully, and I mean I know that sounds. I shouldn't ask your parents first, but I would say swing on your bully because then now people get the message. Now people get the message like, oh, this person told me, and now they fighting. Once you swing on your bully, then they'll understand. Unfortunately, because adults, because a lot of people in the school system don't care. They don't give a shit. They just trying to get through. And listen, I get it. At my job, I'm just trying to get from point A to point B too. But I ain't dealing with kids. So, ask your parents is the real answer. But if they ain't got nothing to say, swing. Throw a chair, wear them out. I didn't want to say all that, but that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea either. Uh, Funny enough, this here was a part of the Seven Soldiers of Victory. I see. Rats Chuko, what's good, homie? What's good with you? You missed to take care of Mama J. Hope Mama J is okay. The booking does have issues. I didn't even know what was happening because I hadn't paid attention to it. It looks like the AJ Styles John Cena match was good. So I'll probably go back and watch that, but I didn't know what was happening. I don't know what's going on in the story. Learning to fight first would be best. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, Fireball's correct. Learn to fight first. Look at, and if you say, well, I don't know how to get into boxing, watch basic boxing shit on YouTube for at least a few weeks. Because you're in fourth grade. I mean, how good you really got to be? You know what I'm saying? I mean, unless you got like Mike Tyson, unless your bully's like a super motherfucker. If your bully's like 6'8", 300 in the fourth grade, then maybe don't. But yeah, you're right. You see my steal this idea? I'm just streaming from my phone. They like vertical streams. I think they think it competes with TikTok and Instagram. And so they constantly bring new people to these streams. And so I'm doing them and people are subbing. So I would suggest it. Not Spider-Man, I'm Vigilante Williamson. Byron Heniosa says, cool mask, thank you. Yeah, learn to fight first, learn basic footwork, learn something. So your bully was embarrassing, I see. You can learn it simply as a skill, exactly. No, don't throw a chair because you could. That gets. What if you like break the kid's skull? Don't throw a chair. Don't need to learn how to fight. The chair lands good. Practice throwing. I say practice punching. Wow, you said I haven't watched pro wrestlers. Ric Flair was the world champion. Woo! Last time he was world champion has to be '90s at the latest or the earliest. He didn't win one in 2000s, I don't think. That's still a long time. It has to be like WCW. Yeah, that's true. You can learn to fight. That chin goes, or you get jumped. There goes your train. Yeah, if you get jumped, there's nothing you can do. Learn to throw your weight into a punch. You can do more damage. Yeah, sitting down on your punches is important because you don't throw all arm. It's a body motion. So I would YouTube how to throw a punch, and I would YouTube boxing footwork because you also need balance. Maybe even get a balance board and practice with that. And then when you have a little bit more balance, and that balance is helpful for wrestling. Then, yeah. So yeah, I would learn to fight, learn to fight, learn to fight, and then fight. Which bot comment? Well, I mean, we just have a conversation. Don't get a gun. No, 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 no. I mean, you need a gun to protect yourself. And I heard shit's getting crazier in Houston, which I do have a gun still. Had a skill. Which bot comment? I mean, the risk is everybody's a bot. Outside, I know Fireball, I know Tom, I know you. I think yeah, I don't think I know anyone else. The risk is everybody's bot. I'm just making conversation. If that's, I think learning to fight. If I was in school, if I had a kid in school, that's what I would tell him. I would say, what, let's practice. First, I would try to honestly. First thing first, I would go up to the school, or go up to the school and say, "Hey, this kid's bullying my kid. Stop it." And then while that's happening, so next time, if you have to confront someone physically, you're able to do it competently. And I would try to train them to the best of my ability. Maybe even put them in classes of either martial art or Muay Thai or boxing or something. I think, man, and I've been slacking on myself. I just, with money and everything being tight, I really want to get into martial arts still to this day. At least know the one thing I don't really want to spar like that. I'm too old to spar. And CTE is a thing, but just at least know how to throw punches and kicks properly, how to defend myself properly. At least be able to hit a heavy bag, right? He was in Texas last week. All right, cool. Like a WWE character that never made it. Philly Phil. See your face now, boy. You have sons that will be training combat. Yeah, that's smart. A hero. Well, just I'm just an anonymous uh internet personality. I'm not a bot. Would a bot say that? Huh? That's a good question. I'm no one's hero. Just an anonymous internet personality in these mean streets of reality. That's nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. This dude dressed like MF Doom on these streams. Sometimes I'll say something. Hi Louis Beats. Do a video. I want to do at least Muay Thai. BJJ. I mean, all that butt scooting looks terrible, man. And I know that's not all of it, but when you just see people just scooting on their butt, it looks crazy. No, it's not the WWE Marcus Reynolds. It's Vigilante Williamson. Ham Doom. Yeah, I've seen Ham Doom. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good, Joseph. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate, yeah, and Nuevo or New 420. Not the old 420. It's Nuevo. Yeah, I've seen Ham Doom. A true culture crime fighter. The Black Spider Man, like a Miles Morales. Shout out to Miles Morales. No, I'm not. I ain't him. I ain't him. This is technically an original mask, though. I'm not sure. It is close to Bane. It is close to Bane. Sheesh. But thank you all for joining, man. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Like, share, sub, all that good stuff. If that's your thing, um, you know, we talk about really whatever. I forgot to put no politics. I'm trying to stay away from that because that's wild. Plus, I'm not keeping up with it. So, Jungle Witch was a cool match. I like it. I appreciate it. Black Spider Man from Static Shot. W Mask. That's what's up. I'm also noticed there's a lot of Mask personalities. I started doing this channel in 2020. I started in 2020. It's been about 5 years. Time fucking flies. I hate your color, my cube. All right, well, I guess I'll put you in timeout. At least a minute. That's wild work. In any event, I got the right person. In any event, yeah, I came with this idea. I didn't do this mask because what's his name? Mando Merc did the logo, which is basically what this mask is. It's the same logo. He did this logo, and then I turned it into the mask. I just found a lucha place that did it when I first moved to Texas, like a few years ago. And at first, I couldn't see out of it. Then I had a local, like a seamstress, like a local tailor. They fixed the eyes, so now I can see. I can see. You can read and shit. Favorite anime? I'm not a big anime person, so it's still Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing. I did like Gundam Wing, Cowboy Bebop, Trigun. Those are probably it. You know what I mean? And all that I saw on Toonami back in the day. My foot is falling asleep, so sorry for this fidgeting. But all that I saw on Toonami back in the 2000s when I was a kid. So nothing. I didn't watch. I haven't really watched much anime outside of that when I was a kid and a teenager. So unfortunately, I'm not a big anime guy. And a lot of that anime to me is just fucking hentai. I'm not that big of a goon. And I've never been. You know what? Animated porn makes me uncomfortable, man. It's goonery and just feels weird. to see like anime titties. It's just always been weird to me, man. It just always makes me uncomfortable. Who's that jumping out the sky? REO. Was it REY? Mysterio. Here we go. No, it's not Rey Mysterio. Ryan Foster. It's Vigilante Williamson. Looks like someone from WWE. No, 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 no. Just an anonymous internet personality. Nothing more, nothing less. A local haberdashery. Yeah, I didn't get too much into the anime. Like I said, some of it's just too weird. And I hate having that thing up. It's weird. Yeah, appreciate anybody joining. Thank you for joining. Please like, please share, please sub, all that good stuff. All that good stuff. These streams are definitely different than just my normal streams. I can like stream a game or something. Is TKO sponsoring the stream? Well, TKO don't even want to pay their wrestlers, so they ain't gonna sponsor this shit. They don't even want to pay their wrestlers. You know what I mean? They got a lot of people fired, a lot of people leaving because we're in a post corporate post what's it called, venture capital, um, just these hedge funds and these funds buy up everything. Even TKO is owned by like a bigger hedge fund or something. I can't think of the right word. And so now we got all these corporal finance guys. They own everything. Nothing's really owned by just the company anymore. It's all owned by like a hedge fund or a BlackRock or Vanguard or a company like that or a company that they own. It's sick. And so now we got wage issue. Everybody has wage issues. Yeah, they were paying somebody like 50K or 60K a year. They had the one girl because they have a partnership with TNA wrestling. So she was doing two different shows and they were trying to pay her like 60K a year to like she has to constantly fly back. And then I don't even know about travel because a lot of times they don't want to pay for wrestlers' travel. Imagine her having to do the travel. I don't think I'm not sure she had to do her travel expenses, but I know she was supposed to fly back and forth. It was making like 67 or whatever the number was. It was something lower than that. It was something, not to be, I'm definitely not balling, but I make more than that. I make more than that. And I don't have to go to one table. You know what I mean? I don't have to go to one table. And I don't have to get hit by a chair. I don't got to fall off a ladder. You know what I'm saying? I make more of that working from home with a corporate job with a laptop. Which ironically enough, this phone is on that laptop. But like, yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. But they're a multi-billion-dollar company. They then sold all these content deals to ESPN and Netflix and everybody else. They sold and the Saudis. Same with a lot of these companies. So they get all these crazy deals from all these other companies. I don't know where Netflix. Well, Netflix and Amazon. I see where they get the money from. I don't know where ESPN's getting the money from when Disney's ready to fall apart. I make more than that walking down the street with my fedora. Shout out to the question. The fit is always immaculate. The fit is always immaculate. Question fit. I wish I had a fit like that. I was just talking the other day. Like I wish suits were still part of society. Like the expectation that everybody wears a suit, even if it wasn't as strong as it was back in the day, like it was still a thing. Like you would still expect to see people with suits out. And I say that, and I dress like a slob. I wish I had more suits. This guy didn't make the cut. I did not make the cut for the Justice League. Wasn't quite athletic enough. Wasn't quite athletic enough. Kicking it with Kid Keanu. Asking Keanu Reeves? Question mark. Where's this money going to with all these deals? It's very good. Wear a suit every day. See, that's swaggy. You won't box me up. I don't know who you are, Maverick. Like Top Gun Maverick? Question mark. See, that's swaggy to wear a suit every day. It's swaggy. I wish I could do it. I wish I had a suit every day, a different suit every day. I mean, within reason, like you know what I mean, a few weeks of suits. You can mix it up with different outfits. Talk about catching these hands. Well, I mean, why? Why are we fighting? Oh, 20 blue suits. That's what's up. That's what's up. It's just a bunch of the same suit. That's what's up. Question. Why are you trying to fight some stranger, Maverick? And UFC Undisputed, chill. Okay. You know, I never played Undisputed. I never got into the UFC games. That's what's up. I did play that Undisputed. Was it called Undisputed? They had a boxing game. I did play that. I tried that. Mortal Kombat movie. Good question. Uh I'll give it a try. I saw that first one they made a few years ago, and I was disappointed. I was very disappointed. So this is they're giving it another try. They got Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. They're basically rebooting it with some of the same cast. It looks like we'll see. They better do the damn tournament. I know that much. If they fuck us on the tournament again, I'm done. And I'm about sick of WB. I'm a DC fan. They already didn't even have Mortal Kombat 1 last long enough to get to the movie, which is just terrible, right? They couldn't even support it long enough to get to this movie. Um, but I guess I'm just stuck being a Warner Brothers fan. Oh yeah, the OG one was the best from the '90s. That was the best. Uh, well, the worst probably is the one after. Yeah, it's all ones about Johnny Cage, which they should have did with the first one. They should. This should have been. They should have just not made the one they made. They should have just made this. And then the worst part was the trailers sold you something cool, but the trailer. I hate when trailers are the only cool moments in the movie. That pisses me off when you show me the best stuff in trailers and you can't top it. Nothing makes me madder than that. Nothing makes me hate a movie more. If you can't top your own trailer, then fuck you. But we'll see. Exactly. Yeah, you just gotta top your own trailer. Come on. And the trailers were cool, and then the opening scene was cool. One of the fight scenes, a couple of the fight scenes were all right. Um, but didn't live up. Just like that Shang Chi didn't live up to it. That Shang Chi from Marvel, it started off decent. It started off as a decent, like high octane martial arts type movie, and then it just degrades into CGI slop, and it just never picks itself back up. We should be old enough to not trust trailers. That's true. The original Mortal Kombat games are legendary, hands down the best. Mortal Kombat favorite all time. Let's see. Did you play the newest one, Mortal Kombat One, the reboot? And what did you think of that? I haven't really played a Mortal Kombat game in a while, personally. And I like fighting games. I like Tekken. I still like even though I have Street Fighter Six, I barely play it. I don't think I've played it since I bought it. I like Street Fighter as a thing. I got a bunch of action figures. I keep buying them, but I guess Tekken is probably my game as far as fighting games. But I respect the Mortal Kombat series. You played them all. What do you think of the last one? They looks like they stopped support of it, which, like I said, they should have. You would think you would keep supporting it at least to the game or at least to this movie, and then use both to hype both. You know what I mean? Hype the movie with the game, hype the game with the movie, do some cross promotion. But they didn't do that. They didn't do that, and it's like, what a waste! What a wasted opportunity. But we're dealing, they're about to get sold. Warner Brothers, they'll be sold to Paramount or Netflix or some other fund before we know it. Ooh, Killer Instinct. I like Killer Instinct a lot too. It's been a while since I played that, and then I've been meaning to play Virtual Fire. I've been meaning to play more games. I've just been so stressed out working. I love to play more video games. Whether I stream it or not, I just want to play more video. I really want to play more video games, man. I just don't want to, all this work, work, melt my brain, go insane. Yeah, those are still some of my favorites to play. I would love a Killer Instinct, combo. Definitely cold stuff. But unfortunately, man, a lot of art, a lot of entertainment, a lot of games just owned by corporations that don't care. Not all the way all the time, but there's a lot. You know what I mean? hate to constantly complain. That's why I'm trying to make my own um, music and eventually make my own games. I want to make my own video games as well. So I feel like corporations are constantly destroying art. So we gotta. When I say art, I mean all entertainment. All music, even though it's not really our sports, video games, TV shows, movies. You can count literature and stuff like that because most books are just pornography for women at this point. No disrespect, but that's just what it was become. So we don't have like a great literature. Even though I'm not a big book reader, but we used to have a great tradition of literature. That's how you get something like Game of Thrones and many other movies and TV shows were based off of literature. Stuff like Blade Runner, and now literature's dead. Literature died once you made what was that shit back in the day? 50 Shades of Grey, and all these book publishers realized you could sell books to hoes as long as it's basically descriptive pornographic, and they never turned back. And so now there's no great American novel being written either. So we're seeing all of art collapse under the weight of corporal. We're seeing all of society collapse under the weight of corporal destruction, and as a result, art, one of the few things that we all like and can all enjoy and all get something from, that's also being squished up by the corporate monstrosity who doesn't know what they're doing and don't care about preserving the quality of art. They just care about buying for one, selling for two, because that's what business is all about. Shout out to Prop Joe. So let's see. Yeah, I like Richard. Shout out to Retro Richard. He's a pretty creative dude. I wish he had a job at DC. Says some of the people they have. Free Palestine, Mudnicks. I'm Vigilante Williamson, Alan Odovan, anonymous internet personality. Yeah, Richard's a pretty cool dude. He's got his own universe built out on Wattpad. I keep telling him, I think he is working towards getting it like more legitimized. And hey, you got a lot of people on Wattpad to read, so you need to get more people to read. I agree, things are not what they used to be back in our days. Back in my day. Besides the costume, you spitting real fast. Thank you, Rachuko. He's the guy, bro. Come on now. No, I ain't the guy. I'm just a guy. Very interesting, big and maggot. Unhinged ideas at times. Some of the violence. You can get violent. I know I'm just a dude on the internet hitting the pendulum. I just got a mask on so I can keep my fucking job, bro. And it's cool. It's part of the personality, part of the mystique. But that's all I am, bro. I wish I had some. I want to do more theatrical shit to make me look like I'm cooler. I'm the dude on the internet sucking on the air conditioning unit. That's what it looks like, right? Yeah, man. But I mean, we need. There's less creatives in the creative space, in the major creative space, and we still have fan bases who expect mainstream. They expect mainstream content, mainstream creators, and change it. Not is it with everything? No, because I mean the indie game. I would say video games is the one situation probably the best because of how much independent games already are a part of it. Now it's very difficult to make an independent game. I'm confused, but it's been done. I mean, just the idea of Vampire Survivors over the past 5 years, how big of a game that was, and that started off as a one-man game, and he had to hire people when it got popular. So that that's the one thing, and in music too, though that the Spotify shit, such a scam. The new Daredevil. Thank you, man. If we don't really have freedom of speech, that's why when somebody said free Palestine, I got nervous. I'm like, I agree with it, but you see what happens if you say it. You know what I'm saying? You see what happens if you say it. People don't, certain people get really upset. If we did, homie wouldn't have to wear a mask. Yeah, and people lose their job. You know, initially I did this shit just for some fun shit, right? Like, oh, you know, I'm a huge fan of Daft Punk, I'm a huge fan of MF Doom, right? And then I just kept going with it because as I've been on the internet for now 4 or 5 years, 5 years, I keep trying to make myself younger. I'm old and I've been here a while, 5 years now. And you see, man, people lose their jobs for the shit they say on the internet, man. It's fucked up. So spell sock fast. That's crazy. Why Ace 1900? SOCK. I'm lost. Spell sock fast. But yeah, man, it's just and then certain things like political that politics have taken over the entertainment business. I've made videos talk about everybody, or not everybody, but a bunch of people, and I got more shit making fun of JD Vance last year, whenever it was, than I did talking about Taylor Swift. And I thought I was gonna get shit talking about Taylor Swift. You sound like I speak Spanish. I do not. It's a trap, bro. I thought it was a trap. It sounded like some shit I heard back when I was in elementary school. Spooter, man. No, I don't speak Spanish, but I've been in Texas for a few years, so maybe it's messing with my accent. I'm from Michigan. Can't, no, now's not the time to be political, man. They be locking people up for that shit now. It's crazy. And then if you live in the UK, you literally can't say shit because you can go to jail for shit now. You can go to jail for memes now in the UK. Y'all know that? In the United Kingdom, if you send an offensive meme, you can go to jail. Jail, butt rape jail. But booty hole ran jail over some memes. You ain't steal nothing, you ain't hurt nobody. You just said the meme. And no, I can break every bone in my body trying to dance, but I can't break dance. Joseph Erickson. I can break every bone in my body trying to dance, but I can't break dance. Shit, I'm sore and old now. I'm old. I'm too old to be wearing this shit, but that's why I do it. Cause like, who gives a fuck? Shout out to Tylenol. Shout out to Tylenol. No, just joking. You spell sock fast. It sounds like you speaking Spanish. No, I'm good. Ace, big Ace. But I appreciate you being here. Cool collectibles. Yeah, I got collectibles. I got so much. Like I said, shout out to Tylenol. I got this stuff. I got action figures behind me, my windowsill, and I got a room full of them. Happening here as well. A guy got the cops call on putting memes on the current administration. That's crazy. That's crazy. We don't live in we're losing our free speech right in front of it. And motherfuckers, as long as it's they side doing it, people don't care. Both sides have led us here. Right now, it's the Republicans. They got the power, so they the ones doing the most damage. But we have a uniparty. If I can teach y'all anything, because it seems like it's some younger kids, don't get caught up in this right versus left shit. It's only one party, and they both demonic. They both every now and again they both will say something that make sound common sense, and most of the time they both gonna be on some evil shit. And whichever one is in power gonna seem like the evilest, right? Because they in power, so they can control shit. The other side's gonna come up with good criticism. Like, yeah, this shit is evil. Then when they get in power, they're gonna be the evilest. Then the other side can come up with good criticism. That's how they keep running that gimmick, and most people don't even figure it out. Both sides is evil. Now, right now, it's getting real crazy. But shit, Trump used to party with Bill Clinton. They all used to party with Epstein. Neither one really want that Epstein list to they. If you think the Democrats want that list really out there, they voting a certain way because they know how the other side is going to vote. They know what's going to happen. That list is never going to come to fruition because everybody in Congress will be out. Everybody, and a lot of people will be dead. They said he was inviting violence, says Ratchoko. Wow. Dark shit, demonic shit. Very demonic shit. Hey, Fizz. We talking about the lack of free speech. Time to revolt against the bureaucracy. Kanye was right. Man, you know what I mean? I want to. I can't agree with that. That doesn't mean I don't. Feds kicking the door down. You better not be blowing any whistles. Feds leave. Kanye is crazy, but there's certain things he said that I started to read. Listen, there's a lot of very powerful people who are moving in unison. I can say that, and they got power on both sides. They give money to both sides, and watch out if they ask you to take money, they expect you to take it, as we've learned through some news stories recently. And some of y'all may know what I'm putting up, what I'm maybe picking up what I'm putting down. But if you're not, that's fine too. But it is what it is. Can't get behind that. Fair enough. I do believe he was trying to get out the contract from some crazy shit. I believe that too, which wasn't a bad idea because you could sell directly instead of being stuck in those contracts. He has exposed the power dynamic, and some of the things he said, like I said, do have some truth to him. Now, I wouldn't just fall, I wouldn't fall behind nobody. I don't follow behind nobody. You know what I mean? Listen to them. Some of the stuff they say may have some validity, some of it may not. But you talk about this power structure, there's a lot of very, very powerful people who do have an agenda and they move in unison with that agenda. And they call, right now we see a lot of damage. We see a lot of damage. A lot of people see the power dynamic and think whoever they back politically is not a part of that same power dynamic, but they are. From Trump to AOC to anyone in between, everybody is still bound down to the same group at the end of the day. You know. So what do you do about it though? You got a lot of control. You got more control than you think. If everybody didn't run out and buy Apple iPhones, they would have to innovate. But people run out because they brand worshippers. I got a Samsung, so I'm not, I just got a phone. I've had this phone for 3 years. I'm not getting rid of it. If something go wrong, I'm getting it fixed. I'm not even gonna get rid of it. Fuck it. You know what I mean? I don't need the latest and greatest. I need my last phone was on its last leg. I had to get rid of it a few years ago. This phone's still working after a few years. I'm not the plan's not getting rid of it. I wouldn't, I wouldn't try to go for the latest iPhone every time they come out with one. I wouldn't go for the latest and greatest. One, they all spying on us, so they just getting better at it. But two, it's just a waste of money, and you keep the powerful power. There's a reason, and why some people trying to boycott Amazon. Not a bad idea. There's a reason companies like Amazon and Apple, they have their own government. Disney, they're their own government, because we're just so dependent on it. So yeah, we can talk about, oh, what group owns all these people. Well, fuck it. Why do we keep giving them money? To some extent, okay, with food, they own all the food companies unless you're about to have a garden and farm in your backyard, which, it'd be nice to be able to do that. I wish I knew how to do that, honestly. And maybe I should learn, you know what I'm saying? But still, unfortunately, that's one thing we are all going to have to go to a grocery store for the most part. Maybe if you're lucky, you got a farmer's market nearby. But outside of that, we don't have to get Netflix. We don't have to get cable. We don't have to get ESPN. We don't have to get Amazon. We don't have to get Apple. We don't have. There's a lot of things we don't have to get. And okay, we are on a Google platform now. We don't have to give them no money. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make better choices so these people ain't as powerful as they are. Because we making these billionaires. Yeah, a lot of it is made by the government help. Don't get me wrong, but we definitely doing our part. Unfortunately, power dynamics play on the currency. Trivia gun, you're not wrong. That's why they're notes. Notes are for debt. What I think is the billionaires, tech bro, trying to create a new government. They are. They are indeed. Ras Chuko. Heard you went big at poker. I do not, T2. And New Acceptance, Nordum. Oh, New Order. Isn't that New World Order or some shit like that? Novus, Ordo, Seclorum, E Pluribus Unum. Who do you think they testify of? Glad I kept up with you, homie. Knew you was on some real list. Thank you, Rats. Women love Apple, addicted to it. Genie on the bottom. Yeah. I feel for the women, man. I feel for the women when I hear about the shit they put in that Starbucks, bro. I know the white monsters got a bad, Monster energy drinks got a bad rap, for rightfully so. But bro, they put ammonia and all sorts of chemicals in in those fucking drinks of Starbucks. And if you ever around the Starbucks early in the morning, you see a line outside the damn door for some Starbucks. That shit is literal poison, bro. Literal poison. I was talking about this the other day. A lot of quote unquote red pill, whatever, make say all this shit about women, but look at what women are going through just chemically. A fourth of women to a third of women are on SSRIs, which y'all know what that is. That's antidepressant, anti-anxiety drugs, mental drugs. So almost a quarter to a third are on that. Then you got all these different chemicals they drink, and then most are also on some sort of birth control and hormone drug. And that's not even counting. We talk about phones. A lot of this is electromagnetic stress, which is not good for any of us. But it should be no wonder why so many women, we like, damn, these women are crazy. Listen, a lot of dudes are crazy too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to single out women. This is not misogynist. But there's been a lot made about the quote unquote modern woman. But look at what she's going through chemically. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a cocktail for disaster. And that's if she doesn't use any drugs of her own. You start adding weed, cocaine, and worse on there, and shit, you got a cocktail for disaster. Someone said you're a great poker player. I wish I could play poker. Apollo is often connected to the people run the systems dressed as sheepskin, yet inside they are wolves. Yeah, they do like Apollo and different mythologies, whether it's the Greek mythology, whether it's the Roman mythology, or even the Babylonian and sometimes called Cometian mythologies, which a lot of them are the same. Like there's a god that's one god in like Cernunnos. I think he's Saturn and Kronos, and like a bunch of different other gods are all related into different traditions, but they're really the same entity. There's even a mythology about Daniel Jones being good. Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones. I predicted it. Almost timed you out, Brandon Holland. Didn't mean to do that. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being here on the morning question mark show. Because it is morning, technically. Thank you all for being here. This has been a cool show. A cool show. Yeah, the powers that be is that's and I remember I wasn't always a conspiracy theorist. I didn't start being a conspiracy theorist till like 2016. And then I tried to fade off of it, and then 2020 happened. Where pretty much any conspiracy you could think of got confirmed. It's a matter of time before they put chips in our body. They got this digital ID. Now maybe they don't need the chips because of facial recognition tech. Who knows? But they're already. We are already in many ways. We already kind of have a chip. Like when you go out in public, they know who it is. They know it's you. Once you hit on one of the cameras, whether it's in a shopping facility or if it's a public camera, they know it's you. They know what cars you drive. They know what clothes you wear. You know what I'm saying? They got files on you. It's all automatic now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like it's really bullshit to even make us go through these processes of IDs. They already know who it is. They already know who it is. Putting chips in the Cheetos. As for my house, there you go. It's good. We will serve your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Good. God bless you all. All right, thank you, Trivia Gun. I appreciate you being here, brother. That's also in queso on limited chips inside. No, not those type of chips, even though those are delicious, unfortunately. Talk about RFID chips and the like. They don't really need that technology. That's it's superfluous with the visual and verbal and other recognition technologies they already have. It's superfluous. They already know it's you. If they can tell, if in 2012 they could tell a girl was pregnant by how she walked around in Target, and that's a true story, where they just monitoring a girl's behavior sent her like some coupons for baby stuff because and like congratulations on expecting, and they knew she was pregnant before she did, just because of her behavior, and they sent her coupons and advertisements about it, and then she found out she was pregnant. But they could just tell because that's how good technology was in 2012. They don't need any type of ID. That was just Target. That wasn't the government. It was yeah. All these companies are connected to the government. Don't get me wrong, but that was just Target's basic tech from 2012. You can look up the story. Look it up. Don't believe me. Don't just believe some asshole on the internet. You can't see my eyes. Look it up and you tell me what you think. Um, so yeah, I mean, if technology's been like that, they know who you are. They don't even need an ID. They don't need a chip. They don't need any of that shit. It's just performative to make you go through the process. Let's see. RFID2 just had the queso facts. Hey T2, I'm subscribed, man. My friend was smoking weed and said you were a poker player. Oh man, I wish I was. No, he must have got me confused. Golly, I wish I was. I know I'll be seeing those streams sometimes. Motherfuckers really play poker. And really, I know I'm not one of those. He must have got me confused. If you're doom scrolling, you'll get me confused. I'm probably more memorable than the dude. No, I'm not one of those dudes though. Damn. Now you're making me wish I was, bro. I used to watch the World Series of Poker. And then, oh shit, did y'all ever see, was it Phil Ivey? He won he won like 9 million in Baccarat and they didn't give him the money. And he went to court and still didn't get the money. That was some bullshit. Watch out for gambling. Even though I wish I was cool in poker, watch out for gambling. A lot of these casinos and gaming places, they will find reasons not to pay out on very big payouts. And they will get away with it. On your phone right now, it's capturing everything you type. Yep. We all are. They know where we are at all times and what we say. Yeah. Shit, even when, what was it, The Dark Knight? That's 2008, almost 20 years ago. They was telling you your phones are on all time and always picking up your microphone, whether they on or not, because that's how you track the Joker. So they was telling you that's 20 years ago. What you think they got now? So 2012, 2008, that's what the type of shit they was doing. They was tracking your voice through your phone, whether it was on or off. That's why you can't take the battery out now. Remember, you used to be able to take the battery out. Well, the battery is always in, even if it's dead. It's not dead. Casinos are coincinos. Coincidence and cinos. I did not know that's where the full term came from. But yeah, man, some evil shit, man, and we consent to it. And to some extent, we have no choice. To some extent, it's just society. But we got to try not to. I mean, they do got dumb phones. They still exist. I don't know if that's the right term, but lesser technology phones still exist. Now, I'm sure there's still surveillance tech in those. You know what I mean? Maybe, it may be moot to get a phone that has less technology. It may not help at all. But, and then they got Faraday bags and all sorts of tech. I mean, you can try to look into that and see if you can do something to avoid surveillance. But to some extent, you can't. Yeah, Faraday bags. That's what the bag that blocks out the signal. It's called a Faraday bag. Yep. Great minds think alike, Brandon Holland. I mean, that's you can get some something like that, not to stutter. You can get something like that. You can look into that tech. If you can live off the grid, which they don't want people to live off the grid, once somebody gets an off the grid situation working, they will send the feds often to interfere with it. Um, not to be doom and gloom, but they do have a lot of unfortunate control. We don't have to get them more. We still we gotta own the control that we have. We got control over what we eat, we got control over what we think about. We got control over what we focus on, what we pray to, who we pray to, if we pray. We got control. We got a certain amount of control. They can only go so far with certain things. You know what I mean? If you don't like something, speak up and say you don't like it. I know everybody's speaking up now in the internet age. Everybody got something to say. That's fine. Everybody's gonna have something to say. You'd rather say something than say nothing and forever hold your peace. So, we do got power, but I'm starting to fade a little bit. Thought I could make it to the hour mark. We made it about 50 minutes into the stream. Soon the robots will be able to do everything we have people do. I will say this before I get out of here. That is not untrue, but I think they overestimated where they were. I don't think AI is quite ready to replace us yet. It might be in 5 years. It might be in 10 years. It might be in 20 years. I don't know when it will be, but it's not yet. And so we need to do our best to set ourselves up for whenever that is, if we can. And that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know if I'll succeed, but I do feel like 10, 15 years ago from now, we're already seeing the job situation bad, and they're trying to use AI to adapt it, but they're still having issues. They have robots doing martial arts. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. But in any event, guys, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. So, Kung Fu Police Bot gonna kick ass. I've seen those little dogs, those dog robots that got like guns and shit to them. It's gonna be a fucking anime. We're in a cyberpunk nightmare. But I'm about to get out of here. So if you like the video, please like the video. Peace out, Fizz. If you are so obliged to share and subscribe, I would appreciate that. And yes, shout out to you to keep informing yourselves. Definitely keep informing yourself by everything that's going on. And even if you do none of these things and all you did was chill, I appreciate that. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night. God bless. I'll talk to all you guys later. Peace. Keep trying to learn Bitcoin and AI. Yeah. Good luck with both. Good luck with both. Peace.